Hello, this is Aaron Rosen, your local real estate agent in Northern California. I have some interesting news for you about tiny homes. Let's go ahead and watch here.
I'm so pissed off.
For us, it's just catastrophic.
If you didn't see the headline here, tiny home builders customers ask, where did their $100 million go? So someone stole a lot of money for tiny homes.
We're not happy. A lot of Bay Area homeowners are sounding the alarm about a tiny home builder claiming huge problems. They forked over big money to build an ADU, but they tell us their money and the construction crew went missing. Here's consumer.
First of all, let me just tell you something. When you do construction, never just hand someone the total amount. Here's $250,000 or $1 million. Go ahead and build a house. That's not how it works, okay? The stuff goes into an account. For example, when you get a construction loan, that money goes into an account, and then it's distributed for milestones along the project. So this is just silly right from the get-go.
Investigator Chris Camara.
We've paid $211,000 so far.
Katie Lucas's San Leandro backyard is supposed to have the grandparents' new tiny home by now. Instead, she just has a shell.
It should be a finished home with my mother-in-law and my grandma here.
Katie hired and started paying anchored tiny homes in 2022. But this April, work stalled. Now,
They are at a complete halt.
Katie says subcontractors told her that ATH stopped paying them.
That's when I lost.
Well, I mean, hopefully you didn't give them more money than the job that they completed. This isn't that complicated. You should just hire another contractor to finish the job. Something fishy's going on here.
It because when we're invoiced, we pay them right away.
Katie says she questioned anchored tiny homes, but it stopped communicating. So she shared her story on Facebook. Other angry customers came out of the unfinished woodwork.
They have not been transparent.
I just feel so cheated.
I don't know where my money went.
Maria in Walnut Creek says workers stopped showing up months ago.
We paid more than 50% of the amount that we were supposed to pay them, and as you can see, my ADU is not even 50% done at this point.
A similar bind for Alan in Oakland.
We had a large plywood box in our backyard.
He calculates his family prepaid ATH $80,000 for work that no one did.
They haven't
Who
told
is paying people $80,000 up front for work? You complete the work, you get paid. So I don't know what's going on with this home. Be careful when forking out $80,000 to somebody. Make sure they have insurance or something, some sort of collateral. I don't know what these people were doing.
where our money went.
Down in Cupertino, here's what Gorisha has to show for her money.
Nothing, zero.
She says
Zero.
she paid $32,000 for designs and permits that stalled.
I just want my money back.
We've talked with other homeowners in Newark, Redwood City, Pleasant Hill, Saratoga, San Jose, and Hayward who tell similar stories.
We're all holding the bag.
The Contractor State License Board confirmed for us it's investigating. It identified 9 consumer complaints so far where a probable violation has occurred.
Probable.
And, if proven, would
A probable violation. These people get $80,000 from someone and don't do any work, and they call it a probable violation. That's
present
crazy.
a risk of harm to the public. The customer Facebook group suggests more angry people in and around Sacramento. We contacted Anchor Tiny Homes. It did not respond. Customers shared a recent message in which the CEO said he was finalizing deals with investors. He wrote, "We have no intention of leaving any jobs unfinished or any contractors unpaid."
Finalize investments. Where did the other money go? I don't. He's like, I'll get more money. Where did your money go? Where did the silly?
Tiny Homes is based near Sacramento. Its YouTube channel is down. But before their videos disappeared, we saved this one, selling franchises.
So we're a tight-knit family.
This small family business, father and 2 sons, boasts big ambitions.
We want to take over the country and grow this thing to be a massive company.
In his now removed podcast, CEO Colton Paulus has said he previously ran 6 failed businesses. But he said Anchor Tiny Homes was very successful.
I can tell you right now, $100 million business.
Oh, I have a lot of questions.
These customers fear Anchored has sunk.
I want to know where my money went.
Is it all gone?
They see at least 100 million reasons for regulators and law enforcement to follow the money.
They have taken money and run.
At least, investigate them.
The owners of this company will have to account for what happened to this money and whether it was just recklessness or negligence on their part or whether it was something worse.
Some people, like Alan, are resuming work by hiring a new contractor.
There you go.
And basically paying for some stuff all over again. Some families can't do that and are just stalled. A few folks, like Maria, told us subcontractors are threatening to put liens on their homes if they don't pay the invoices they say Anchor Tiny Homes didn't pay.
I don't think that's how it works. I'd have to look into that, but that sounds terrible. I mean,
That's just crushing for our neighbors. If you were an Anchor Tiny Homes customer, you can share your story with the state. Do that online at cslb.ca.gov. The complaint button is on the homepage, third circle from the right. You can also share your story with us. Scan the QR code on screen right now to fill out our consumer complaint form.
All right. Well, that is just interesting. So, the whole tiny home movement, I did a little video about this before, and honestly, I just don't think it's a good idea. I mean, sure, it's great. We should be able to build ADUs, but it should not be a replacement for making housing that is actually affordable for homeowners. And I don't mean affordable housing. I mean, we need more housing. So, here's another article that came up today that I thought is just interesting. Javier Milei, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, got rid of rent control in Argentina. Housing supply skyrocketed. So if you don't know, in California, and especially San Francisco, there's a ton of rent control. And that's one way that they're trying to keep rent down and obviously prices down. But you know what? It probably had the opposite effect. So let's just kind of browse through this a little bit and see what we can glean. Argentina's recent repeal of the rent control by Libertarian President Javier has led to a surge in housing supply, with freedom to negotiate contracts previously restricted, directly causing a drop in rental prices. Milei, a self-described anarcho-capitalist. If you don't know, this guy's just hilarious to watch. He has a thing where he pulled out a chainsaw and he's like, yeah, I'm getting rid of this person, I'm getting rid of this person, I'm getting rid of this person. Do I know everything about his policies and if it's going to be good, ultimate for the country? No. Okay, I'm not a political analyst. I know real estate. But I found it incredibly interesting that all of the housing restrictions, when lifted, led to a boom in the housing supply. This is exactly what we need here in California. Okay, self-described anarcho-capitalist known for his free market approach repealed the 2020 rental law enacted by former leftist president Alberto Fernandez, which had imposed restrictions on landlords and led to a significant decline in rental availability. When Argentina's inflation reached 211%, wow, the highest in 32 years, rent prices were adjusted every 12 months, and leases had to last at least 3 years. The law introduced in 2020 ended up distorting the real estate market and hurting both landlords and tenants. So, right off the bat, I just think that this is a good example of the power of the free market. I think that basically there's too many restrictions in California that prevent people from building. I went over this in a previous video, but I'll just mention it real quickly. $80,000 to build a house in Sonoma County for the permits alone. And then the land. Land is super, super expensive here. And you know what we could do? Free up a little bit of land. We have tons of farmland and vineyard land here that maybe they could just, say is not going to be taxed on the sale. Give a little bit of incentive. All we need to do would be to free up, let's just say 2%. This is just a number I made up. 2% of California's land over the next few years, and we could use that land for building houses. So, to me, this is just an interesting article, an example of the power of the free market, and that we need to deregulate some of the housing stuff. So in California, we have earthquakes. I get that we need earthquake safety and all that type of stuff. That does not mean that that needs to go away. There's plenty of other regulations and taxes that could help make housing more affordable. So as always, all my information is below. You have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out. Thank you much. Bye.